watch it again if you have to leave early or what have you. So, give me just a second, guys. I lost my spot. Here we go. All right, guys. Now everyone is here. Thank you for all 32 of you guys being here. I'm gonna unlock the stage right now after I post the first question. And guys, feel free to give me your responses in the chat. I'll try my best to read off the answers and in the chat as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the stage. So now the stage is unlocked. You guys can come up and give me your responses. So I'm only really gonna have time to take maybe one or two at a time per question, because I'm only gonna give myself 45 minutes. So whoever would like to respond in the chat or respond on stage, let me know. Okay. And if you have internet issues, that's just unfortunately the way it is. I just saw someone raise their hand. So one more time, here is the question. What experience in your life taught you a lesson? Now guys, this is a full question, not which one do you answer. This is an all-in-one question. What experience in your life taught you a lesson you will never forget? How did that experience change your behavior or choices afterwards? And if you could relive that experience, would you handle it differently? Why or why not? So I would love someone to come up or anyone chime in with an answer in the chat. Let me know. We have Goom, Lubak, Aroshi, Scooper, Vika, Barbara, Gamer, The Man, Nicholas, anyone who's coming up. Stage is open, guys. Stage is open. This is your time, not my time. So what? Can you guys hear me all right? So is anyone going to come up? It's a good question. I would love a life lesson. Then come up. Raise your hand. Goodness gracious. The stage is open. Come up. No one? Oh, thank you. We got our first speaker. All right. Maybe. Hello.
Hello, Teacher Grant.
Hey, Yuri, how's it going?
So far, it's going fine. Thanks for asking.
Good
And you?
Good things, good things. Just finished my classes tonight and squeezing in something for you guys now. So that's why I have a little bit of time to spare. So what are your thoughts? Life lessons. So one more time, what experience in your life taught you a lesson you'll never forget? How did that experience change your behavior or choices afterwards or afterward? And if you could relive that experience, would you handle it differently? Why or why not?
So, a life lesson I would like to share with this first question is about dealing with anxiety.
Okay.
It was last year and the middle of high school, and I started to do a lot of work, participate in lots of Olympiads, school homeworks, but also Olympiads. I tried to participate in lots of those things, and I was overcharged. And then the experience that taught me a lesson was literally a mental breakdown. I had to be away from school for a month, 2 months. Thankfully, it was near the vacation.
Okay.
And it taught me to treat it more nicely, more relaxed, one thing at a time. So next year, I did not participate in lots of Olympiads as I attempted to do at first. And if I could relive that experience, I would absolutely have done it before. Not the experience, but the actions I changed. I would have done those before.
Okay. And again, as I mentioned, this is a 3-in-1 question basically. They all tie in together. Okay, you kind of already answered. Sorry, I spaced a little bit. All right, cool. So would you change anything about it? Would you handle it differently?
Yes, I
Okay.
would. I have changed after learning, so if I had known about it before, I wouldn't have overcharged myself with lots of work, lots of Olympiads. Even the tests were getting harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I could still handle the test, but I would participate in less of those Olympiads and dedicate better to one thing or two at a time.
Okay. I appreciate you coming up here and sharing. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I did see that XD wanted to come up, but I don't see a hand. So if that's the case, I'll move on to the second question. But I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anxiety can kind of be the root of evil, right? Like if we like you said, overfeel ourselves or overpower our brains, it can lead to an explosion, right? You want those people who are like massive gamers or want to add things to their car, and they put too much power, and it can't handle enough power, it's gonna explode. And it's good that you were able to find a happy medium. So now you've already answered it. Forgive me for not paying attention, but how has this experience changed your behavior or choices afterwards? What do you do now from what you've learned last time?
So I'll try to be more specific about the changes I've done. It wasn't just cutting down a lot of effort and work at the same time. I also invested a bit of time on some hobbies I actually like playing instruments,
Oh, okay.
even playing a bit. So it wasn't just cutting down the work and was basically participating in lots of Olympiads. It was like 5 Olympiads at the same year. That was crazy stuff. But those are the two main things I have done differently from what I've learned through that experience.
Bravo on that, man. Bravo. I admire you for that. That's an amazing lesson we can learn. Because I think everyone's life lessons or everyone's lessons that they learn on their own can be easily learned, be easily taught to other people. The lessons we learn are the lessons that can also be taught. So, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so I have a second question. I'm gonna put you off stage, and if nobody wants to speak up, you'll get the floor again. So you'll be lucky. So I'll move you to the audience right now, Mr. Yuri. Thank you so much for sharing, and I'll go on with the second question. And if nobody speaks up, you got the floor. So we'll see who else speaks up. All right, thank you, Yuri.
The pleasure is all mine.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Second question. Let's talk about influential people, right? So, who has been the most influential person in teaching you an important life lesson, and what was it? Have you seen? Have you ever had the chance to thank this person, and how did they respond? Have you shared this lesson with anyone else, and what was the reaction? So, if you guys want to share in the chat your answers, go for it. If you guys want to come up on stage, go for it. This is your chance to shine, to share your thoughts, to share with the audience. And one more time, guys, here is the link to my channel. If you have to leave early or you come late, you can watch the live afterwards. It's just not properly titled. I'll work on the title later. All right, Card is going to come up. Well, Card was going to come up. Now he's not. All right. This is your chance to come up, or Yuri will get the floor again. I'm sure he wants to speak again. Out of 37 people, I'm sure someone else wants to come up. So one more time, who has been the most influential person in teaching you an important lesson? And what was it? Have you ever had the chance to thank this person? And how did they respond? Have you ever shared this lesson with anyone else? And what was their reaction? Anybody? Okay, Yuri, I'm gonna give him a 5-second head. I'm gonna give him 5-second head countdown, or you're coming up for question number 2. No, I disagree with that. Actually, I strongly disagree with that. There are a lot more influential. I mean, I'm not dissing our own moms and dads, but like, there are so many people in our world that influence us, that are influential to us. But I'm going to bring Yuri up in 4 seconds now. Anyone else want to come up? 3 seconds. Or Yuri's getting the floor and the question will be closed. 2 seconds. Anyone else want to come up? All right, Roshi. All right, Yuri already knew what would happen. All right, Yoshi's coming up. Roshi's coming up. Yo, Roshi.
Hi.
Always enjoy hearing your answers. Sorry, B. Maybe throw it out the window.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. B, throw your microphone out the window and then tell me if the microphone will start working again. All right, Roshi, do you understand the question?
Yes, I understand the question and I was thinking about
make sure
it.
you guys understand that also it is an all-in-one question. It's not just one question. It's like an all-in-one. Does that make sense? Kind of like if you get a 3-course
Yes.
meal, like you have to eat everything, not just one piece of the 3-course meal. So I'll read it again. Who has been the most influential person in teaching you an important life lesson? What was it? Have you ever had the chance to thank this person? How did they respond? And have you ever shared this lesson with anyone else? And what was their reaction?
So the person, I was thinking about someone, but I didn't find it. But I was thinking about me. I was teaching myself a lesson that if I don't take action, I will stay on the same spot and nothing good will gonna happen. Everything good will gonna come near me, but I will not take the action. I will not take that good thing.
Hey, Mr. Roshi,
I didn't
and I'm
get
sorry
this.
to interrupt. I want you to think a little bit outside the box. I know you're thinking about yourself, how you pep talked yourself, how you gave yourself a good lesson. So that's one influential person you can think of. And I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt your flow of your answer, but I would really like to hear about somebody outside of yourself who has been influential to you. Maybe an uncle, a neighbor, a teacher, an actor, actress, athlete. Someone else who's.
I think I will say David Goggins. His podcast was a thing that helped me sometimes.
Okay, we're off to a good start. So, what was it that was the important life lesson that you got from him?
If you don't take the action, however you feel, bad, good, if you don't take the action, you will lose everything. You need to take the action and you will become the better. The better version of yourself is the disciplined one.
All right. So I'm going to be under the impression that you've probably never met the person. So I'm going to give you a pass on the second. Have you ever had a phone call, like on a show? I don't think so, right?
No, I didn't have it.
So I'll give you a pass on the second question. But have you ever shared this lesson with anyone else beside yourself? Because I know you want to say yourself, but have you ever shared this with other people? And what was their reaction?
Yes, I was sharing with someone online, and their reaction was like, "What is how to say it? Why did you wanted to know about this thing, and what made you to change yourself? What made you to feel like you are not in the right spot and you want to change yourself?"
So were they kind of questioning your advice? Now this is when you were giving them advice, right? When they were coming to you
Yes.
about a situation, you gave them that advice, and
Yeah.
so it sounds like, was the reaction positive or negative? The way you respond. So
Yeah.
what was the reaction? Was it a positive reaction or a negative reaction?
It was a positive reaction. They encouraged me to continue like that
Oh,
and to not give up on my dreams.
okay, all right, Roshi. I always appreciate you coming up on stage, and I'll move you back to the audience. And the same rule applies.
Okay, thank you.
If
Thank you so
you or
much.
no problem, no problem. If you or Yuri want to come up again, I'm gonna move on to the third question, guys. Second question's closed. You had your chances, guys. So I'm gonna move on to the third question, and the stage will be open. If nobody speaks up, Yuri and Roshi will have first dibs. So I really want to encourage the audience to come on up and speak, or at least give me their answers. So now, Mel, let me give you the question first before you make up your mind, because I would hate for you to come up blind and not know what to do. So let me say the question first, because it would be really awkward to come up and then I give you a fresh question. Then you want to prepare for something, and then the audience is bored, wondering why you're silent. So Nabel, I would love you to come up. Here's the question here. So, Nabel, I haven't even gotten a chance to say the question, but I'll bring you up, and hopefully you know what you're gonna say. So, how has a mistake that you've made? So, how has a mistake you made in the past taught you a valuable lesson? And do you believe mistakes are necessary for learning? Why or why not? And then what advice would you give someone facing a similar situation as yourself? So think about the mistake.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Nabel.
Hello,
How's it
sir.
going?
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Well, mistakes in the context of learning, right?
You don't understand my question, so I'm gonna say the question one more
No,
time.
no, I
So you
got it.
get
I
it.
got. No, 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 no. I got it. I got it.
Okay. I just want you to share
I'm just
your
trying.
Mr. Nabel. I want you to share your mistake. So, how is a mistake that you've made in the past taught you a valuable lesson? And then, do you believe mistakes are necessary for learning? Why or why not?
Yes,
Then,
of
what
course, sir.
advice
Of course.
would you? Well, slow down,
In the
Mr. Nabel.
context.
Slow down. Take a breath. Take a breath.
All right.
All right.
All right,
I mean, in
sir.
the most respectful way. And then finally, what advice would you give someone facing a similar situation? I'm going to say one tidbit. I'm like you. I will hear part of a question and I will jump and answer before knowing what the full question is. I'm the same way. All right. So go ahead, Mr.
All right, sir.
Nabel. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Mistakes. I find mistakes are an important point of the learning process, sir, because most most learners, if they are not, they learn by their mistakes, sir. And mistakes for me are a sign for an improvement. Whenever you do mistake, there is something new you learn. If there is no mistakes, you're just circling in a vicious cycle, sir.
Okay. You can call me Mr.
So,
Glass or Mr. or Teacher Grant. Really quickly, Nabel, I want to go back just a bit. I want you to focus on the first question. So, have you ever had the? Sorry. I'm looking at. I'm looking at two questions. Sorry. So, I want to know how a mistake has, in the past, has taught you a valuable lesson. So how has a mistake you've made in the past taught you a valuable lesson? That's what I want you to focus on first. I saw that you jumped to the second
Very
question.
well.
So let's start
Very
with the first
well.
question.
It's just, in a nutshell, sir, mistakes taught me how to identify the right thing from the wrong thing, sir, and not to do that thing again.
What was your
So,
mistake,
it's
Mr. Mabel? You're dodging the bullet here. So the question is, have you ever had? Sorry, the question is.
Of course I had, sir. Of course
Okay,
I
so
had.
talk about the mistake that you made and how you learned from that. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, focus one by one. All right. So how has a mistake you've made taught you a valuable lesson? So tell me about that.
I think I had to go back to the floor and organize my ideas, sir, and then come back again
Okay, no problem.
and answer you.
Okay. Please, guys, be prepared and don't jump up. This is why I wanted to ask the question first, Mr. Nabel. I said you should wait till I ask the question. XD, I can bring you up right now. So I love your enthusiasm, Mr. Nabel, but this is why I said listen to the question first before you come up. Because now the time is gone and we're wasting good time. So, XD, if you want to come up, go for it. XD or Mika. Not invested in Bitcoin. Okay. Anyone else want to come up and ask? Cherry, awesome. I think Cherry has sunk in that answer. I hope. Hopefully, Cherry did not just jump in. Let's see. Hello, Miss Cherry. How are you? Oh dear. All right. Whoever just requested may get to come to the front of the line. So, Cherry, are you there? Okay, Cherry, you gotta unmute your mic or make sure you're giving yourself permission. All right, Cherry. All right, anyone else want to come up in the meantime? I'll keep Cherry on stage, but if anyone else wants to come up. So, anybody. XD, if you want to come up, go for it. I saw a few people raise their hand. So if you guys want to come up, now's the time to come up on stage. So, yeah, Cherry, unmute yourself. You're on stage. Cherry can hear me, but you're not. You need to unmute yourself. I can't unmute on my side, Cherry. I cannot unmute you. You gotta figure out your device, your audio. I don't know what's going on. Jaquel, do you want to come up? Anybody else? I want you guys to carefully, articulately look at the question again. All right? And from that question, if you're able to articulate yourself. No, nobody hears you, Cherry. You're muted right now. You are muted. All right? I just want you guys to answer the question. This is this is something that you should, I guess you guys should be at an intermediate level, at least, to be able to articulate yourselves, I guess.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Cherry, we got you. We got you now. We have.
Oh,
live.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you're talking the whole time, but you were muted for like maybe 2 minutes.
I don't know what was the problem, but now I can.
We got you on stage. All right, Miss Cherry, do you understand the question?
Yeah, for sure.
Go for it. So, first part of the question is talking about how a mistake you've made in the past has taught you a valuable lesson.
Okay, so the mistake that I always did was like I didn't come up on the stage or I didn't answer any kind of question that was being asked just in the fear that maybe I was the wrong.
Okay.
So
what?
that
How long
was
have you
my
been in this server?
sorry, sir.
How long have you been in English Hub? Or are you just talking in general, like speaking up when you have the opportunities?
Sir, it's my first time.
Oh, okay. So you mean you didn't want? You're talking about a mistake that you just recently made? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most of
But
the past time I made these mistakes.
I don't see that as a mistake at all. I mean, it's your first time coming up on stage. I'm kind of thinking more like life lesson learning. You understand, like things and moments in your life that you've learned in the past, mistakes you've
So
made
I'm
in the
not talking
past.
about
Because it
particularly
literally
this
says
stage.
in the past, not like in the present. I know technically 30, 10 minutes ago was the past. I'm talking about the past, 5 years ago.
No, no, I'm also talking about the past in my academic careers. So I made these mistakes.
Oh, you're saying just in general, like not speaking up when you had opportunities to speak
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. I'm
thank you
talking
for
about journal,
clarifying
not
that. I was thinking that's where you're
yeah,
going, and forgive me for not
yeah, yeah. I'm
understanding
not
that
talking
was
about
what
only
word.
this particular server. I'm just talking about the journal that whenever I was in my academics or in college, I always made these mistakes, just like in the fear that maybe I was wrong. So even
Oh,
though I know that answers, even though I know that things, but I just didn't come up the stage, or that I just didn't give the answer in that fear that maybe I was wrong, and that was the biggest mistake that I ever made in my life. That everyone thought that I was dumb, but in the reality, I know these type of things.
yeah. So now, do you believe mistakes are necessary for learning?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I believe because in this mistake, I learned so much things that, and confidence is better than perfection.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
I
so
completely
I
agree
learned
with
these
that.
things, that whatever you have knowledge, just share. Maybe no, that right or wrong is a part of, like life. Maybe sometimes you are right, sometimes you're wrong. So just you have to, like keep practicing, or you have to take the participation in these things so that you will learn. So I learned this from my these previous mistakes, that you have to, like participate in these questions or in these, like these things.
Oh yeah, I feel like I'm right with you because at the end of the day, if we were to speak up and we were to get answers, we wouldn't be delaying ourselves and questioning ourselves of, oh, why didn't I get the answer I was seeking? Like, so that's kind of, I agree with you a lot,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you,
So
sir.
the final part of the question is, so, talking about your past experience and the mistakes that you've learned and what you've done to fix them, what advice would you give someone facing a similar situation? So, as a situation with you, not speaking up when given the opportunity or being afraid, if somebody had the same fear, the same uncertainty, what advice would you give someone facing a similar situation?
Okay, so number one is that learn from your experience. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. Okay, so you just have to share your knowledge. If you are wrong, you will be taught, and if you are right, you will be, like appreciated. So learn from your experience and just speak about whatever you have knowledge. Maybe you have so much better knowledge, but you think that you have not. So maybe it is the beneficial for others. And number two advice would be like stay positive, no matter, like whatever you are thinking, just say it, and you will learn so much from it.
Oh, wow. You are such an inspirational speaker, and I think you can resonate with a lot of people who have that uncertainty coming
Oh,
from
thank you
someone
so
with the
much.
personal experience that you've had. You definitely should be that motivatable um, uh, speaker. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but someone to listen to because if they listen to you and the way that you're articulating yourself and from your past experience again, you
Well, I
resonate with
wanted
them.
to be a motivational speaker.
It's because you've been there, done that. It's like, oh, but I don't know. It's like, no, you do know. I've been
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
I've been in your
Yeah.
shoes. You do know.
Yeah.
Just speak up,
Yeah, just speak up. Please speak
Yeah.
up. Whatever you have to speak up. Share your knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Highlight answer of the night. I
Okay.
appreciate you sharing. Stay on
Thank you
stage.
so
I want
much,
to give you
sir.
a golden hammer. You can stay on stage. Um, I'm gonna
Thank you so
bring
much,
up
sir.
the
Thank you.
last question of the night, guys. I probably will have time for one more speaker. And Cherry, if no, oh, you went off. Never mind. I was gonna give Cherry a golden hammer if she wanted to come up. I was gonna give her like the keys to stay up and answer the last question. All right, last question of the night, guys, because there is book club in about 10 minutes, and I'm just doing a short session. This session is live, it's on YouTube, and you guys will be able to listen to everything afterwards. Last question of the night, guys. So I know we've kind of touched on this a bit, but we're going to touch on it again. So, what is a lesson you've learned that you think now, I'm going to give a disclaimer, not the lesson you taught yourself, but just a lesson in general from a professor, from reading books, from watching documentaries, whatever, motivational speakers. So, what is a lesson you've learned that you think everyone should know and why? So, our final thoughts here. Have you ever seen anyone benefit from learning this lesson? And what happened? So, give an experience that maybe a family or friend, colleague, a student of yours, if you're a teacher, maybe a teacher of yours, a neighbor, etc. And tell me what happened. And then how would you explain this lesson to someone younger than you? All right. So that's the concluded question here. So I'd love to know someone come up and share your thoughts. And not to put Miss Otter on the spot, but I would actually like her to have a closing thought on this question, if no one wants to come up. Because I think hearing from someone of I'm not saying like hearing from a native speaker is going to impact people more, but to hear kind of from outside and hear from our perspectives might be fun to hear from. So I might put Miss Otter on the spot and force her to come up. Because I'm evil. In a fun way. Is anyone raising their hand? Otter, in 10 seconds, if they don't raise hands, please bring yourself up. It's funny how I'm not even asking her politely. I'm demanding it in a fun way. I'm... Alright, it looks like Alu is coming up. Alu, I want to make sure you guys understand the question. Oh, Iotter's coming up. Yeah, Alu, I'm gonna put you.
You can bring a Lulu up. He's
I'll
awesome.
bring him up. But I want you to speak first. Or no, I'll have you speak
All right,
last. Actually, Miss Otter, I'll have him speak last.
Oh,
All right,
he's gonna.
Mr. Alu.
Hello.
Hello, Alu.
I was
How's it going?
great. I was counting to 9. So
You're counting to 9.
All right. So, Alu, you understand the question in its entirety?
yeah, is there a specific topic or I can?
Oh, Alu, please. I'm trying to be nice and kind. I don't want to kick you back to the audience. I really don't.
Yeah.
Alu, I'm going to give you a golden
Yeah.
hammer here. I'm going to move you to the audience, scroll up in the chat, read the question, and then you'll know
Yeah,
what to do.
I read.
So why did he say, is there a specific topic? Why? All right, Alu, read the question. Don't ask, is there a specific topic? That is the question. Was I too mean, Otter? I'm trying to be nice.
You have a mission, I think, here.
Well, he said he read the question, but he's contradicting himself by saying, what's the topic? But I don't know. All right, Alu, I'm not kicking you out of the audience. I mean, not the audience, out of the voice thing. Just back to the audience. Read the question, Mr. Alu, and then you can come up. other than that, I can't, because I'm gonna end soon. That's why, guys. I'm gonna lock it up, man.
I
And then-
see. He's asking if it could be a life lesson. That's his question
See, the
over
thing is, that's
a
what
lesson
he
that you
needs
learn
to
in a
look at the question.
class per
But
se.
that's the question. That's
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave
So-
I'm gonna let you close it off, Otter, because I'm done in 7 minutes because I do want to give the book club its time to shine, and I didn't want to go on too long. So I'll let you close off the question. We
Okay.
can do
I
a
can only know if
part
I
two
can
session
talk
on
for
this
7
topic,
minutes, but.
Now you should make a joke and say,
Um,
"What's the topic?" I'll boot the teacher
and
off
then
the stage
and then
too.
just and then watch Teacher Grant's head just explode.
How many times have people come up on your stage and go, "What's the top?" Actually, I don't think so because you have a very niche, lesson, right? You pretty much have a niche, like.
You'd be surprised, but
All right, so Miss Otter is gonna close us off with a life lesson she's learned that everyone should know and why, and has she actually seen it firsthand? Anyone benefit from it? And how would she explain to someone much older than her because she is so young?
let's see. Well, that's a lot of those are a lot of things, but
Right?
I haven't even had a whole
I'm gonna
cup
be
of coffee
honest,
yet.
I'm a
So
hypocrite. I cannot think of something I can kind of share. I can't really. Other than I'm kind of a hypocrite when I was telling one of the students not to tell me their own lesson because I kind of have my own lesson as well. But I'm going to be a hypocrite if I share that. So I'm not going to be hypocritical that way.
okay, so professionally in my life, I'm in a role where I work to help people. I help parents feel less stressed so they can have a better relationship with their babies. And in that role, I often meet people who are very overstressed. They have a lot of situations that they're trying to manage. Maybe they live in serious poverty, or maybe they have a serious health concern or something like that. And a lot of times I run into situations where I really want to help somebody. I want to make their situation better in some way. But one of the things that I've learned professionally, and I've learned this, from several different mentors, is that when we fix something for somebody, we are doing them an injustice. What we have to do is teach them how to fix things for themselves. And that is the way that we empower people to grow and to make their own situation better. So when I work with a new staff member that comes onto my team, that's one of the things that we spend a lot of time working on as what our professional boundaries are and what our purpose is in our role. That we are not trying to fix somebody, we are trying to empower them, and those are very, very different missions and agendas.
Beautiful. So you've been able to give these life lessons to the clients who you deal with, and you've seen firsthand, slowly but surely, them turning around and changing from the lessons that you've learned in their situations, right?
Right. Well, and sometimes sometimes it's like gardening. You're just planting seeds and ideas. You don't ever see how those come out, but hopefully, in the grand scheme of things, they grow and flourish. So yes, it's definitely. Just going in, like maybe I feel like I have the right answer for somebody, but just going in and giving that answer, that doesn't really help them grow and learn.
Yeah. And to close it off, how would you explain this to people who are younger than you are? Like maybe whether they're in maybe high school or maybe freshmen in college, or even your neighbor kids that confide to you maybe. maybe they're 10, 11.
Right.
Miss Otter, and they're talking about whatever is going on. So how would you explain the life lessons you've gained to those who are younger than you?
So I do have the advantage of being a mom of teenagers. So
You probably
I
have
do
a full
like
circle. Are you the neighbor mom that everyone would go to? No, just talk to your mom. Don't talk to me.
no, we're kind of we're our house is sort of isolated, so we don't
That's
really have a lot of
benefit.
people that come hang out. I would love that though. I would be I would love to be the go-to mom. But I think that I try to put it in my kids' language. You know, you try to give them an example that fits their own life. So, I try to talk about something that is relevant to what they're doing or what they think about, and put it in that context. Like, I definitely think that I've had conversations around. Around those things, but with a topic that's relevant to them. So I would say, oh, you remember when your dad tried to tell you had to do it this way, and you needed to figure out for yourself a little bit more, like how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah. Much agreed.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt because I know how us Americans, we have something that we're flowing with and we get interrupted. It's like your brain will automatically freeze, and then you won't be able to articulate. So I wanted to wait for that longer pause before I go, thank you, instead of interrupting. But thank you, Ms. Otter, for closing us off with that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a nice session. If you guys like this part of it, I will of course maybe do a part 2 session. I had other questions in this category as well. If you guys came into the class late, there is a link. You can click here and watch it again. You might want to fast forward through the what do you call it, amphibian sounds or whatever my boring chit chatter like now. And then also I do want to let you guys know that if you look at my bio, there are 2 discounts. The discount should still be there. I've extended it to next month. It's $15 a month. You guys will have access to the group class, and it will be in a Telegram group. You guys can use the code 50% off for the VIP group, 25% off if you guys want to book a one-on-one class. All the information's in the site there, or you can message me for more information. If you guys want something different and built together, you can do that as well. I think I have concluded everything I've said, other than thank you everyone for being here. Maybe Abulu, I'm sorry, maybe you did articulate what you're saying. Maybe I jumped the gun. Miss Otter can call me out later and DM and maybe say I did. But I think because you're asking if it has to do with a life lesson, I think that was implied within that question. So when you wanted to when I heard you ask that, it made me automatically think you were not understanding the question, and that's on me if you did know what you were going to articulate. But I just wanted you just to go with the flow and answer it. So it's on me for not understanding you clearly. But next time, just go with it. Don't need the question. If you say I like apples, then I'll tell you something to say different. So it's on me if I did not get you clearly. But the questions were there when you said about life lessons. That's up to you. It's up for your interpretation. There's no wrong answer. Yeah. You said life doesn't have to be about a life lesson, and that just defeated me not thinking you didn't pay attention to the question, and that's on me. All right. Any closing remarks?
Thank you, Teacher Grant, for bringing me up to the stage.
Thank you for your closing thoughts, guys. And I think that's it. Any other questions that you want to ask? There's a book club happening now, I think. Or did it get canceled, Otter? Is it happening? I think it is, right? There's book club happening.
I don't know. I think so.
There's a book, yeah, I was trying to end before the book club. There's a book club happening, guys. I love you all. I will see you guys next time, alright? Bye-bye. See you. And the YouTube link is above. My class link's above. Any questions, send me a message. And bye-bye. See ya.